Alright, so we're going to be doing a patch 5.19 rundown of the changes. Nothing really happened too much, just very small changes, but I'll be going over that and sharing my thoughts on Kindred, so why don't we go over that first. So Kindred is more of an AD carry jungler than an actual AD carry, and there's one reason why she's better at jungle than AD carry, and that is solely because of her passive on how she can get easier stacks in the jungle than in the AD carry lane. Her clears are also pretty good too, since her Q does damage to 3 enemies and it's spammable with her W. Plus her W gives her sustain, and her E is really good at taking down big creeps. And her ganks aren't that bad because, well, she has a lot of hops in the ganks. She also has a 1 second slow and great amounts of sustained damage. Also, she has sustain because of her W, and she can also tower dive if needed with her ultimate. Her ultimate is also one of the best utility skills in the game, I must say, as if you're ahead and you're very fed or someone is very fed too, like Tom Kench, if they're caught on a bad position, you can just pop your ult on them and they'll live. Although it does have a short range, so I do not recommend using it on an ally. I feel like it's best to use on yourself. Some situations of course open up for you to use it on an ally. And overall, I do like her kit and I like the design of the champion. An AD carry in the jungle is something that's, pretty new. I mean, I do it a lot with Lucian and Vayne, but that doesn't count. And for item build, I will say that Armor Pen is the best on her, since she's like an AD caster in a sense. But now I just want to talk about on why she's actually a bad champion and kind of underpowered. Like, if I think a champion is balanced on the PvE server, that actually means they're underpowered. If I think someone's OP, they might be balanced. Unless it's like stupid OP like Skarner on release. Then it's kind of different, but for the majority of champions that I think are balanced on the PvE, they're underpowered. And I actually have some good reasons why Kindred is actually underpowered. So first off, Kindred's AD ratios are super bad. Her base stats are actually super bad too. She has no attack speed steroid, and she also has 500 range. And what that means is when I get fed and I get a lot of items, I don't feel that impactful as if I were Tristana or like Lucian or someone like that. I feel like if I were a full item build, I'd do the same damage as a full item AD carry Soraka. Okay, not that bad since Kindred has her passive and she shreds, percent health damage. But also after a certain while, she cannot obtain stacks from the jungle and has to hunt people for extra stacks. And the average amount of damage you'll probably do with your passive is between 8% to 12% per game. If you're behind, then maybe like 5%. The only way I feel like she'll be a viable AD carry is if they actually just buff maybe a few AD ratios or just buffing her base stats so that she can actually use Triforce. Then she would be able to go a Triforce Blade Rune King Ezreal build. As she can't use Triforce right now since her base AD is actually the 3rd lowest in the game. So Sheen procs won't be doing a lot of damage. But yeah, that's all she really needs. Her kit's fine, but I will probably say that she's going to have a low win rate on release. Next up is Garen, and he just gets a little bug fix that made him more powerful if he had more hit point than his enemy when he span around them, and also if they were the villain. Now it's just a little bug fix, and he's a bit worse when he's on enemies who don't have a lot of maximum health. Whatever, small change doesn't really matter too much. Next up we have Misfortune, and now her ultimate scales with bonus attack damage. This is nothing up until level 16, like save a BF sword. Okay, so your ultimate already does 400 damage at level 6, do some math and now you get 460 damage. Also, if you didn't know this, it actually already has an AD ratio in a sense, since it applies impure stacks, so that's doing magic damage to the enemy already. And at level 11, if you had that BF sword still, you get plus 70 damage on that 600 base damage. And at level 16, I feel like that's where it's kind of impactful since a 2.0 AD ratio is pretty big. And you get 100 damage if you had a BF sword. Then again, her fully channeled ultimate is 1000 damage, so it's already, pretty big and you probably won't notice the difference. So this buff is not going to change her. I still think she's a viable AD carry. No one plays her for whatever reason. And like, if you've ever seen your solo queue games, yeah, she honestly feels like a good AD carry and viable. There's nothing wrong with her, it's just a lack of pros picking her. Then you get Shin, who received the bug fix so that he will be reducing damage from enemies again. Well, that doesn't matter when you have that Vayne still proccing those silver bolts on you. Plus the taunt only lasts 1.5 seconds, so yeah, very minor buff. Zac gets a bug fix, although I haven't played him recently and never experienced this bug. I wish I did, because it'd be kind of cool to see it. But yeah, this is fixed and now you can like point blank E people. And now finally, something I actually care about, the Sated Devour nerf for ranged champions, where now it procs every 4th hit instead of every 2nd hit. This is actually a very stupid nerf because now I can't like have fun with Kog'Maw jungle or Vayne jungle, who are definitely not too viable junglers at the moment. And they actually did this for Kindred. I can see that like for her, but they should have just nerfed the champion instead of basically every other ranged champion who's viable in the jungle like Kayle. And this nerf is obviously pointed at Kindred, and I do feel like this kind of lowers champion diversity. Well, not really, because you'll still be building these items on those certain champions, but it's just kind of annoying to do this for just a champion coming out. And now how am I going to have fun with Kalista jungle, Twisted Fate jungle? It's just such a dumb nerf in my opinion. It doesn't fit competitive or high elo games because no one uses it there. They emphasize on early game. But maybe in lower elo, Kayle was like a super monster or something. Even then, I'm just still pretty salty about this nerf. If it was every third hit, I actually feel like that'd be okay in my books. And next up is going to be this new jungle leashing thing. Basically, if you're pretty advanced in the jungle, you'd usually kite the camps to the point where it will reset so that it keeps turning around and you don't take any damage after like 2 spins. And sometimes you actually screw up because you did it too much and you weren't counting. But now that won't happen since you have this new aggro bar, so you know when it's about to reset. And obviously this is a really good thing for, people who abuse the fact that they kite the camps. Now we can abuse it without screwing up. Although I've been seeing abuse, what I actually mean is it's actually a mechanical skill to have in the jungle, since you're playing in the limits of the jungle. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you really did like this video, make sure to leave a like as it does help me a lot. Comment below on what your thoughts about Kindred are, and I'll see you guys next time.